Hey everybody, welcome to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and also rounds out an entire year. This is actually the first full year of Airsoftology Mondays, even though I started it back in 2014. This rounds it up. Actually, this is show 75, I think, which is crazy. And I want to take this moment before we get anywhere into the questions to say thank you for an amazing 2015 here on the channel. Without you guys, especially you right there, this would be nothing. I mean, I am truly humbled that you guys join me here every Monday, and then of course on the channel with reviews and everything else, and watch what I put out. You guys are freaking awesome. The channel's actually grown over 2.5 times since January of this year. So it's 2.5 times larger than I started the year, which is mind-blowing. Also, thank you for supporting the gameplay footage I've been putting out. It's something new on the channel, getting into those gameplay series, and I'm really glad you guys are digging that. If you want to see something different or whatever, mix it up, let me know down here in the comments. If you want to see, something added to a Monday show, if you want to see them changed in format, anything like that, I'm always listening to your guys' suggestions. It's not just your questions, but your input, and that's what helps me make this channel great for something you guys want to watch. But enough gushing about how awesome you guys are. Let's dive into some lost questions, some great ones from the last few weeks in the Palco mail call. Hilarious CSGO Vids writes, hey, since you play so much, next day are you still sore, or are you just simply used to it? I play 2 to 4 times a month and am extremely sore every time. Thanks. I actually have a name for this, and to answer your question, yes, I am sore because in Airsoft, I end up using a lot of really weird muscles like squatting and sprinting and ducking that you don't normally use even when you go out jogging or even hit the gym, which I'm not doing enough of lately, but I call it the Airsoft Hangover. You may have actually heard me mention it a long time ago in some of the early shows, especially after the big milsim ops. I have a huge Airsoft hangover where your body just aches and all these really weird muscle groups and you're sore and you're just drained. Playing, locally, you get the same result, whether it's CQB, playing skirmishes at your local field, or even, like I said, the big ops. It seems to be the same for me. In fact, CQB gives me some of the weirdest aches and pains just because of the nature of squatting and moving and going from low cover to high cover and all that and shooting offhanded. So yeah, absolutely. As much as I try to stay in shape as best I can with the editing schedule and all that, I still end up pretty sore after most games. Steve writes, what happened to all the Airsoft MP5s? There used to be so many options like G&G, Classic Army, CYMA, Marui, etc. The only ones I can get now are the Elite Force VFC ones, which I can't afford, or the Plastic Competition MP5A4, which has a bad rate of fire. So yeah, that's kind of what happens when you have licensing, and especially with like HK and some of the big licensing names out there, they're going to come in and really regulate the industry. And that's what Elite Force did. And Elite Force does work with different vendors. Now the price point on these are a little higher because you are paying that royalty that goes back to HK. So you're like, well, hey, the VFCs are kind of expensive. Well, yeah, in that price, there's a chunk of money that does go back to HK that Elite Force or Uberex or whatever, they don't even see. They get it, and that money gets transferred right over as a commission or a royalty for running, like I said, the logo on the gun. So that's why the prices are a little higher these days. And I do hear you on the competition ones. The rate of fire on those are pretty darn low, especially the MP5K. That's an easy fix though. If you guys want to do that, grab one of those, toss a new motor in, especially if you get something that's like on the higher torque range, and it'll fix that problem for you. No issue at all. I mean, drop that motor in, rock and roll. But to your point, yeah, G&G had a fantastic one. In fact, Elite Force's licensed ones before the VFC, their premium line or their elite line was G&G, and I do miss that SD you mentioned in your question as well. I wish they would come out with an SD. I've actually talked to the guys at Elite Force. Apparently there's not a huge draw or huge want for that model, and that's why they're not producing it, at least right now. But if there is a need, they will produce that. But yeah, that's kind of where you're stuck. I mean, the only other way to do it, if you want to work around it, and I definitely don't recommend this, is go looking outside the country where there may be different licensing and you may be able to get a broader array of licensed in different markets, but then you run a huge risk of bringing that in and having it seized by customs. So it's not something you probably want to do. So yeah, either save your pennies up for the VFC, which is a great gun, or just do a motor swap on that competition one. Should be good to go. Ghostly Doctor writes, hey Jonathan, I have a KWA MP7 and love it, but the cold weather really takes a toll on the functionality of the gas magazines. Is there an easy way to reduce this? Thanks. So yeah, green gas or any kind of gas like that in the blowback world, especially is rough in the wintertime and cold. Fortunately with the MP7, you do have an interesting situation that might be solvable by an old trick I used to have. So if you have like an M4 gas blowback, which I mentioned in a question earlier, or an MP7 gas blowback, in your case, the mags tend to extend, or especially if you have the extended MP7 mags, way out from the bottom of the grip on the MP7. What I found that works well in the wintertime is to get some of those hot hands, you know, those iron-based hand warmers that usually fit in your pocket. You can pick them up at any big box store for like $1 for like a couple of them. Put those, get them activated, get them warm, and I tape them around my magazines. It just puts enough heat to keep those mags warm for you, even when they're sticking in your pouches, sticking up vertically. It may not be the coolest looking thing because they're kind of white looking, and you're gonna have like duct tape or whatever you're gonna use around it. Make sure not to tape them all the way on. They do require a little bit of air to activate, so they need a little bit of oxygen in there to breathe, so don't like just seal them on all the way. So like a couple things of electrical tape or a little bit of duct tape around it to keep them around that part of the mag should keep your mags warm enough to actually use them just fine in the wintertime. I found that works pretty darn well for me. It's not a perfect solution, but it works decently. The other solution is, you know, jam them in your pockets, you know, the actual magazines themselves to keep them warmer, or anything you can do to keep them warm between games. But yeah, due to the nature of cold weather and green gas, that's probably the best solution I can say for you. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on pistols, but on MP7, you're set. All right, guys, that's it for questions this week, which means it's time for the Cobra Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one is a channel, believe it or not, I've never highlighted on here, and it's one I watch and I subscribe to. I can't believe it, and I forget, a couple of you guys like recommended down there in the comment section for the channel and the video, and this is Bojup's Airsoft. You guys don't follow Bojup's, it's another sniper. I've been on this big sniper kick. I don't know why. I think I play a lot of CQB since I've been here in SoCal, so it's kind of like the polar opposite. But yeah, Bojup's is a fantastic sniper channel, and I have to say, if you've never been to the channel, check out this video that I'm gonna have right over here, floating over my shoulder, and it is the Airsoft cheater caught on camera. It's really hard to hide from a scope cam, and he does a great job with those scope cams. And like I said, I think last week I did a sniper video. It's just something so cool about watching that BB travel in the air, and just one in the air, and boom, getting your enemy. So neat. But yeah, it puts on a fantastic video. I love the pacing of his videos, and they're really enjoyable to watch, especially if you guys are into those up close and personal scope cam videos. So if you never checked the channel out, head on over there, watch the video, and if you like what you see, hit the old subscribe button. Well guys, that is it for Airsoftology Mondays, and actually that's it for Airsoftology Mondays for 2015. The next show is going to be in 2016, and I'm working on some format changes, a little bit, just a little bit, to kind of make it look different. Right now, you guys are probably tired of the couch and the thing, and I want to find a way to get the patch wall back into it, and I think I've got it figured out. So 2016 is going to be great. And also, let me wish you guys a happy new year. Enjoy your time, enjoy the new year with friends and family and celebrating, and I will see you back here in 2016. Also, oh, don't forget, I do have Airsoftology patches. They're still on sale up on the store. I've got the PVCs and just a couple greens left. I think I have 9 or 10 green ones. I can't remember the exact count, but it's super low on the numbers. So if you guys are looking at green, they're $7 shipped anywhere in the world. The PVCs in yellow and multi-environment brown are $10 shipped worldwide. That's everything, price all in, included in US dollars. So again, guys, I will see you next year. But until then, go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.